Hello and good evening everyone from Ahmedabad Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport Terminal 2, where today we'll be flying out to Abu Dhabi with Etihad Airways on their Airbus A321 in business class. Terminal 2 at Ahmedabad Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport is home to a variety of international carriers such as Singapore Airlines and Emirates. The check-in lines for business class at Ahmedabad Airport were pretty smooth, and I didn't have to wait any more than 5 minutes for a boarding pass and lounge pass. In addition to business class passengers, top-tier status holders of the Etihad guest program, including Platinum, Gold, and Silver members, are given priority check. Going through security was efficient as well, as the lines weren't that packed. During the early hours of the morning, it's definitely much more packed here at AMD. Business class passengers flying out of Ahmedabad are given access to use the lounge, which can also be accessed through Priority Pass. There's nothing much in this lounge, there's just a bathroom which is kind of sanitary, a buffet, and plenty of seating. The terminal itself was quite clean, with plenty of different seating options. It never became that difficult to find a seat, even as boarding piled up. As expected, Etihad's business class passengers are given priority boarding. Our aircraft for today's flight, which is an Airbus A321, is registered as Alpha 6-Alpha Echo Juliet. Glass jet bridges are always a real treat, and they're common in the country of India as a whole. On the A321, Etihad's economy class seats are arranged in a 3-3 configuration, while business class is arranged in a 2-2 configuration. Compared to most other A321s with a business class cabin, Etihad's A321 business class cabins are actually quite private, as they're only made up of 8 seats, and this should allow for a comfortable and cozy flight to Abu Dhabi. These are the exact same business class seats Qatar Airways uses on their A320. While the seat itself is quite comfortable to sit in, it feels more 1990s rather than 2020s. Upon boarding, each business class seat is stocked with a set of headphones for the e-box entertainment system, a plush pillow with a beautiful geometric pattern, as well as a thick blanket. You will also find a menu card at each seat. Starting off with the individual air vents and reading light above each seat, let's go for a seat tour. Off to the side of the seat, you have an adjustable reading light, which can easily be brought towards you, and you can adjust the brightness of the reading light. You also have an adjustable headrest, which is really plush, definitely really comfortable as well. The tray table itself is quite flimsy, pops out from the side of the seat, and beneath that is the set of seat controls. Now this seat is not fully lie flat, but the recline is really generous for a 2.5 to 3 hour flight. I'd say anything that's 5 or 6 hours, this would not be as ideal. To the side of the seat that's opposite of the tray table is the IFE system, which pops out from the side of the seat. Definitely not the most convenient location for an IFE system, but this is an old aircraft after all. In fact, Etihad's e-box entertainment systems definitely work pretty well. Definitely a much better IFE system than what I was expecting was going to be on this old A321. Beneath that, you have a drinks table which pops out like so, and you also have a headphone jack as well as a universal outlet. And beneath the area where the IFE system pops out is an IFE remote. Directly in front of you is a generous amount of legroom, as well as 3 seat pockets. One of the seat pockets contains in-flight literature, while the other 2 are for personal use. Pre-departure beverages were offered prior to pushback, and I opted for a bottle of water. Let's have a look at the menu provided for today's flight. In business class, Etihad Airways offers a dine-on-demand service, which is industry-leading. This is a service standard that's much closer to first class rather than your typical business. Theoretically, you can eat what you want, when you want. Feel free to pause the video for a closer look at the menu. Given that this is a short flight, the selection of appetizers and desserts is obviously limited, though you'll find 3 mains to choose from. Unlike Etihad's long-haul business class flights, on these short hops from India to Abu Dhabi, everything is served on one tray. And also, the beverage selection leaves a lot to be desired on these short-haul flights, as there's no mocktails, but it's definitely better than what most other airlines would do. However, Emirates and Qatar come out ahead with their beverage selection compared to Etihad. Well, at least that's the case on these short-haul flights. You'll also find a selection of wines such as champagne, white wine, and red wine. In addition, the wine list also highlights other alcoholic beverages. You can feel free to pause the video for a closer look at the menu. The menu is also written in Arabic. As far as in-flight literature, in the seat pocket, you'll find a safety information card. In addition, you have this pamphlet about Etihad Airways' in-flight e-box entertainment that discusses how to get connected to Etihad's streaming entertainment service, as well as the in-flight options for movies and TV. However, the best part of the in-flight literature, in my opinion, is the Atlas in-flight magazine. Not many airlines these days, especially post-COVID, offer in-flight magazines. The in-flight magazine on Etihad Airways discusses information about Etihad Airways as an airline, and also contains news articles and information about travel destinations.
This aircraft is bound to Abu Dhabi, thank you.
Welcome on board today's flight. Your safety and wellness are our priorities. We appreciate your full attention as we take you through this demonstration. أهلا بكم على رحلتنا لهذا اليوم. صحتكم وسلامتكم هما أهم أولوياتنا. لذا نرجو منكم الانتباه جيدا أثناء عرض تعليمات السلامة الخاصة بهذه الطائرة. Your seatbelt must be fastened whenever the seatbelt sign is illuminated. To adjust, pull on the strap. To unfasten, lift the metal flap and pull the belt apart. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case we encounter any unexpected turbulence. يجب ربط أحزمة المقاعد فور إضاءة علامة ربط أحزمة. Only as you leave the aircraft door. To inflate, pull firmly on the red toggle or blow into the mouthpiece. A light will illuminate on contact with water. Some items under the seat in front of you. Laptops and other larger electronic devices must be switched off and secured for takeoff and landing. Handheld.
No.
Now that we're airborne, let's check out the lavatory on the Etihad Airways Airbus A321, located up front in the business class galley. For starters, this is one of the more spacious lavatories I've come across on an Airbus narrowbody. The Qatar Airways A320 lavatory for business class is definitely not as spacious, and of course, the 737 MAX lavatories are tight as well, even in the premium cabins. But this is definitely a really great space. You'll find a pretty large sink. In addition, you have plenty of space for your legs to stretch out. You'll find a waste disposal bin located off to the side. Sinks are really good size. As you can see, you also have soap. Definitely not as impressive as the lavatories on other Etihad Airways wide-body aircraft, but anyways, that's to be expected. You have soap, as well as rinsing cups. In addition, you'll find toilet paper at the bottom, as well as a pretty large toilet itself. I'd say the lavatories on the Etihad Airways 787s and A380s just feel a bit more at the HUD with a much better color scheme and really nice flooring as well. In addition, you have a baby changing table that pops out like that, and besides that, well, that's the lavatory on the Etihad Airways A321. The in-flight entertainment system on Etihad Airways, also known as the E-Box, truly offers a great selection, even on these less updated IFE systems on older aircraft. You'll find an incredible selection of movies and TV shows, and while this selection isn't as impressive as that of Emirates and Qatar Airways, I still think the design of the Etihad Airways entertainment system is truly very impressive. I love how they make it easy to search for what you want, using all the filters as well as the search box. You can view entertainment through HBO Max as well, and in addition, you'll find plenty of movie and TV genres to choose from during your flight. One of the coolest features is that you can order food and drinks directly to your seat. There's a dedicated slot for kids' entertainment, information about Etihad Airways, as well as information about the hub of Abu Dhabi. Despite the fact that this flight was just under 3 hours, the movie selection is so robust that you can literally spend your entire flight deciding on what to watch. The IFE system can be controlled by using the touch screen, or you can use the IFE remote located at the side of the seat. As far as television, you can view a series of TV shows, as well as live TV directly through the IFE. If the movies and TV shows aren't impressive enough for you, then you also have a robust selection of music, games, and podcasts to view. All in all, I think Etihad has done a great job with their IFE system, though it's not as updated compared to what you'll find on the new Dreamliners. For the glassware and silverware that's used for the meal service, Etihad Airways has partnered with Armadi Casa, and I have to say that while the meal is served on a tray, which I don't generally like, the food itself looks quite appetizing for a short-haul flight. I wish that Etihad Airways had a proper appetizer selection rather than just serving a salad and breads. This beetroot and chickpea kebab served on the tray was very delicious, with the right amount of flavor and spice. This is definitely far from the best entree I've had on a flight before, but it's certainly one of the best dishes I've had on a short-haul business class flight. Chapati bread and the naan provided on the side tasted great as well. The salad provided on the side was pretty typical and tasted dry. On this flight, there was only one option for dessert, which is bundi. For those of you who don't know what bundi is, it's basically a sweet Indian dessert or mithai. For my beverage choice, I opted for a Moroccan mint tea, which was served on the tray as well. The flow of drinks didn't stop after the meal service. Flight attendants then came through the cabin to offer bottles of water to each business class passenger. Now that we have a little less than an hour before arrival in Abu Dhabi, let's discuss the concluding thoughts of the Etihad Airways short-haul business class experience. The ground experience at AMD is pretty typical, as business class passengers are supplied with both lounge access and priority check-in and boarding. The lounge itself is pretty basic, with a minimal food spread at the buffet and a decent amount of comfortable seating. The Ahmedabad lounge staff are quite friendly and hospitable. However, the lounge itself feels kind of small and a little outdated. I wish they went for a more modern feel, and the lounge itself doesn't really feel like a lounge. It feels more like a cramped box with a large seating area. But at the end of the day, it is an airport lounge, and any airport lounge beats sitting in the terminal. The cabin itself is quite private and spacious, with only 8 business class seats. The seats feature an adjustable headrest and footrest and offer a generous amount of recline for a flight with a length of this one from Ahmedabad to Abu Dhabi. For a 2 to 3 hour flight, this business class seat is ideal, but if we were traveling 5 or 6 hours, this would definitely not be ideal at all. Etihad has some of the best food in the airline industry. While the meal itself is served on a tray, which I don't generally like, the presentation of the meals is actually quite impressive. For its shorter flights, I think that Etihad could use a more extensive appetizer and dessert selection, as a selection of entrees with 3 mains to choose from is already quite impressive. Etihad's e-box entertainment system offers a robust selection of movies and TV shows to enjoy during the flight. Given that this is a slightly older aircraft, the IFE system pops out from the side of the seat rather than it being located directly in front of you. Fairly responsive given that this is an old aircraft, and works by using the touch screen, or you can use the IFE remote located at the side of the seat. Despite the fact that there is a pretty robust selection of movies and TV shows with plenty of genres to choose from, if that's not enough to impress you, you also have a selection of games. There's also a selection of music and podcasts you can view through the in-flight entertainment. As far as amenities, I think that Etihad has done a great job on these short-haul flights with a thick pillow and a comfortable blanket. Headphones provided are sound-canceling and fit comfortably. And of course, having an in-flight magazine is something that not many airlines offer these days in 2024. The only thing that Etihad is missing is a small amenity kit which maybe might contain an eye mask or a set of socks. But other than that, these are seriously some impressive amenities for a 2.5 to 3 hour flight. Etihad has some of the most friendly cabin crew in the airline industry. The crew are constantly in the aisle offering extra beverages and amenities. And of course, one of the best parts of Etihad's in-flight service is that they offer dine on demand, meaning that you can eat what you want and when you want. This is a service standard that's much closer to first class rather than your typical business. For both casual travelers and travelers on business, Etihad's short-haul business class product is a great way to fly from a nearby destination to the Middle East.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Abu Dhabi. This is Zayed International Airport, where the local time here is 9:43 in the evening. For your safety, please remain seated with the seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft comes to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign has been switched off. Please take care when opening overhead storage compartments and ensure that you have all of your personal belongings with you as you leave the aircraft. Remember that smoking is not permitted until you're within a designated smoking area of the airport. Handheld electronics may now be switched on. Thank you for choosing to fly with Etihad Airways, the national airline of the United Arab Emirates. And it has been our pleasure taking care of you today. Thank you.
Bye everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope all of you enjoyed the trip report. We have plenty of great content coming your way, so please be sure to like the video, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos or YouTube shorts. With that said, I'll see you in the next video.